A lot of persons get married, and marriage begins to look like a curse instead of a blessing that it was intended to be. Marriage, which is supposed to shield them from the pain out there, becomes what exposes them to that pain. And of course, many persons get married for different reasons. And many times people get married under pressure. They take these decisions under pressure. And that is why they find themselves exactly where they are. So today I want to talk about 6 pressures that you must avoid when you want to get married. If this is the first time you are seeing me, my name is Ndu David. Hit that subscribe button and click on the bell icon so that you get notifications whenever I post a new video. So let's get on. 6 pressures you must avoid when you want to get married. The first is pressures from self-imposed deadlines. Growing up, we all have this big dream of how our life is going to flow. At 20, I would have achieved this. At 22, at 25. For me, at 27, I wanted to be married at 27. And really, there's nothing wrong with planning out your life this way. But the thing is, life does not always go as planned. And when these dates start approaching, you begin to see yourself under pressure. You just want to meet someone, just find someone to make sure that at least I get married before 27, I get married before 30, I get married before 35. You should understand that these dreams, these self-imposed deadlines are meant to serve you and not you to serve them. They are there to guide you and not to put you under undue pressure. Some people have gone ahead to marry someone they know is not the best for them, it's not the will of God for them, because they just want to meet up with this self-imposed deadline. Now, there's nothing wrong with meeting up with your planned date, but what I'm just saying is you should not be under any pressure to meet up with those dates. And that's because in the long run, what will matter most is how much you're enjoying your marriage, not how early you got married. The second pressure you should avoid when you want to get married is family pressure. Some families and family members can be a great source of pressure. They just want you to get married, and there's nothing wrong with them desiring that you marry early. But then you should not be under pressure to marry just because they want you to get married. Most of the time, these family members mean well for you. You don't realize how much they are driving you towards making a marriage mistake. In the long run, if you rush into a marriage mistake, they will not even realize that they were the ones who drove you to make this mistake. So you have to be the one to make that mental shift to protect your mind. Maybe you'll have to develop tough skin against these pressures, or do the best you can to stay away from conversations that make you feel like you're a failure till you get married. The third pressure you want to avoid when you want to get married is peer pressure. As social beings, we will begin to form cliques very early in our lives. We begin to have friends. We want to go to school when others are going to school. We want to graduate when others are graduating. We want to get jobs when others are getting jobs. And we want to get married when others are getting married, have our kids when others are having their kids. While there's nothing wrong with doing things when everyone else is doing the same, that is not exactly how life comes. Someone may have to go to school before you do, someone may have to graduate before you do, someone may have to get a job or get married before you do. So there's no point being under pressure because our paths are different, our journeys are different. Some people get married before everyone else only to be the last to have babies. And they're under pressure because the people they got married before are now having babies even before them. And that can be another source of pressure. So if you cannot deal with the pressure before you get married, there's no guarantee that you can deal with the pressure even after you get married. The fourth pressure you should avoid in making your marriage decision is societal pressures. For every one of us, there are unspoken expectations that society and the culture we live in has placed on our shoulders. You should be done with high school at 17. You should be done with college at 23. You should be married at 30. You should be done having kids at 40. There is just so much, and trying to meet up with all this can make you rush into a season that your journey is not right for, or one that you are not ready for, and the same society will come around to judge your poor performance. Again, it is your journey. You should own it. Grow into every phase at your own pace, and not because this is what society expects you to have achieved at a certain age. The fifth pressure you should avoid when you're planning to get married is financial pressure. For some people, marriage is their escape route from poverty. The major force pushing them to want to get married is so that they can have someone to help them meet their basic financial needs. There is nothing wrong with desiring to marry a wealthy person. The challenge is when you're so keen on getting married just so that you can meet your basic financial needs, You may not pay attention to other important attributes that will make a great marriage, like kindness, commitment, selflessness, and so on. When you finally get into wealth, money will not mean so much to you anymore, and that is when you begin to notice all the weaknesses of the person you marry. It is good to marry a wealthy person, but it is better to marry a kind, patient, and loving wealthy person. The sixth pressure you want to avoid when you want to get married is religious pressure, especially for we who are Africans. Some people are pushed into making marriage decisions because of the beliefs of the religious organizations they belong to, or because a religious leader has prophesied that they are going to get married within this certain period of time. They get under intense pressure trying to get married within that period to fulfill the prophecy. Here's the thing, if the prophecy is true, you won't be under so much pressure to force it into fulfillment. It will come to pass. Your job would be to be sensitive and to cooperate with the move of God. Some people have been told by a spiritualist or a religious leader that a certain person would be their spouse, and this puts them under intense pressure to connect with and marry that person. There's nothing wrong with taking the advice of your religious leader, but in the long run, you have the final responsibility to make life decisions and to navigate their outcomes. Whether the pressures are from self-imposed deadlines, from family, from your peers, from society, from finances, or from religion, you want to enter marriage with the consciousness that you are making one of the most important decisions of your life. I hope this has helped you. Please do give me a thumbs up, leave a comment. I want to know what you think about this. Are there other pressures that people should be aware of as they plan to get married? You should also share this video. Do subscribe to this channel and click the bell icon so that you will get notified whenever I post a new video. I look forward to seeing you next time. I appreciate you.